Hype. I'd say hype. Okay, let's wait a little bit to make sure everything's working properly. And then we'll jump right into it. Might as well, hang on. Okay, clicked into the game. Oh yeah, right, I forgot I changed my home screen. Look at that. Just Monica. Just the way it should be. Okay, hang on. Serious apologies, just needed to double and triple check everything. And Mahmood, welcome! Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. Where are your fingers? Oh god. Anyway, welcome. Should I just call you Mahmood or should I keep calling you someone? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's time. It's time, everyone. It's time. So as far as I'm aware, we did everything there was to do in the original DDLC. Just some... Okay. So it is finally time for the side stories. I think we're just going to go in order, meaning we do trust, then understanding, then respect, and so on and so forth. But I'd like to do both parts in a row, basically. So do trust part 1 and 2, then understanding part 1 and 2. That's how I'm gonna plan this out. Seems like a decent idea, right? So yeah, always do go in order and always do 1, 2. So left to right and top to bottom. Okay, in that case, let's just jump straight into Trust Part 1. I am excited. Monica and Sayori. I don't see this going wrong. Begin the side story. I mean, no. Okay, yeah, I shall begin. I've been waiting for this, okay? Ooh, new background. Also new music. Oh my god, this is making me feel a certain way. New DDLC content. I've waited for so long for this. Okay. Let's calm down a little bit. Of course, we have to start off with Monica's voice. Fun fact, some sharks don't attack. Dave the Shark. Wow. Really. Okay. I can save or load in the side stories, so I'm guessing they're not too long. Because if they're extremely long and you can't save and load, then that's gonna be problematic. Okay then. Starting off with Monica, of course. That can't go wrong. And Rob, welcome to the stream! For your soul, of course, you always come back for my non-existent soul. But welcome to the stream. We just started playing Trust Part 1. So in case you're wondering what we're doing, for the first side story, it's time. Trust Part 1. I hope you're ready.
Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay?
Want to read a quote from a doctor? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Enlighten me what that quote is.
I miss the bait club. Who knew it would be so difficult to start a new club? I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence.
Monica is the only member of the literature club. So this is we're gonna see how, oh my god, we're gonna get to see how Sayori ends up joining. Oh, I'm excited. And that there are benefits to owning a pub, do you know? Wow. Great benefits. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, yes. We all know that. In the days that have passed, all of her efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless.
Am I going about this wrong?
Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, do you like literature?
Maybe nobody's into literature enough to pick it up over their other club interests. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. But what kind of vision?
Remember from Genshin, your vision is connected to your ambitions. So yeah, you just need more ambition, Monica. And then a vision will come to you as a gift by the gods. Right? That's how it works. Monica rests her head on her desk, deep in thought. But before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Oh no! Monica, the model student, falling asleep in a classroom. How could this happen? I'm guessing this is Sayori.
Hello?
It is Sayori! I already enjoyed the new soundtrack. That remix! You can't do this to me! I enjoy this way too much already. Suddenly a voice causes Monica to snap awake.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I never do this. Is this a napping club? No, this is...
Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is in fact the literature club.
This is the literature club. Yay! I thought I got it wrong for a sec. I'm so sorry. It was like so unprofessional of me to do that.
It's only the beginning. Oh, I'm already excited.
Don't apologize, I do that all the time. Oh. Did I miss the club meeting? Where is everyone? Well, about that. This is everybody. Really? It's just you? But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it.
I'll go check Hardstyle Remix. Oh yeah, sure, you do that.
Hold on a sec.
Oh no, that voice crack.
If it's just you, that means I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, you know. I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no! I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that...
Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayori. Yup. The god of this universe that doesn't know that she's the god of this universe. At this point, blissfully unaware. So, I know this... From the mails, if I understand everything correctly, this isn't necessarily taking place in the same universe as the rest of DDLC. But it very well could be. It just might be set in place, before her epiphany, basically. Because we know that only after her epiphany did she realize what was going on. And Ivanov, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. Because I sure am.
I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members at least? Well, no! I want to join now! Really? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun! Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing, and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way. Monica! That's such a cool name! Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling! Well, I didn't say it didn't work.
Is the attack voice act? No voice acting, but voice act. I am just... That's probably just shortened. They probably just shortened it so the attack isn't too long. Probably. Monica glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it.
So what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that! Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. My mission is to make everyone happy! Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so.
Sayori suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug, then let's go. You remember... You remember... T-Series? I know there was this huge thing about it going on, yeah. Yeah, I remember there was a big thing. At some point. Why? What about T-Series? As I fly on this... In one quick moment, she... No! What is... Why are you so weird? Oh, look at that, Rob is quirky. Lol, XD so random.
Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides...
Say whispers loudly. Well, wow, really?
Hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy.
Monica laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member, but...
Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard about tonight. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people.
I am not random. Everything I say and do has a certain context it fits into, okay?
Yeah, me too.
A day passes and the time comes for the literature club, Monica and Sayori, to reconvene. As president, Monica ensures that she's the first one to arrive in the club room. I'm gonna keep jamming out to this music forever, you know? I can't. But she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori.
It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining. No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday. But I'm getting kind of worried.
Suddenly Sayori comes bouncing through the door. In her hand she's holding a sheet of paper.
Sorry, I'm late. I'm here. It's okay, I'll come back. And...
Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet onto Monica's desk.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, she was already writing poems. Okay, new poem. Everyone, new poem. Gather round, it's poem time. Take my hand. Take my hand, take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step, so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me, while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up, the more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Ah, new poems. Ah. Imagine 7 poems on the same topic. Would you have to write different? I mean, technically, but if you really want me to write 7 poems on the same exact topic, then I might just make them very similar, you know? Or they just have even less quality than I usually put into my poems. Because I know my poems aren't great, but if I have to write 7 poems on the same topic, you can expect me to go all out on every single one of them.
Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori? Of course! Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that yet, I'm so embarrassed.
Honey, how all it takes is an online girl for everyone to submit to the corporate overlords. Hey! Online girls can... You know, waifus can achieve a lot of things. And if your waifu orders you to submit to the corporate overlords, then you do it. That's just how simple it is. Because waifus hold infinite power. And husbandos too, I guess, but yeah. Finish another mod, I'm running out, send help. Hey! Don't talk to me about mods, I'm still excited to play this game.
I wasn't ready to share that yet, I'm so embarrassed.
Monica flips over the paper, written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members.
Oh, so that's what you meant to show me. But I'm curious now, do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again a week after I write it, and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be, or something like that. Aww. You should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. I guess you're not wrong there. I need to, like, set a good example or whatever.
Since when did Monica adopt the constant repetition of like and you know I'm like, you know, like, whatever? Since when does she talk like that? Since when does she add so many likes into her speech? And the or whatever at the end is just... Is it just me or is her speech pattern slightly different? Could just be my imagination.
You know, I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? You know, like sharing poems we write and stuff like that.
And stuff.
Oh yeah! I would love that! It's such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like we have so many emotions that we can't express to other people usually. But you can write when it's in a poem, right? Yeah. I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. So I'm glad you showed me, well, even though it was by accident. Me too! I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I'd love that. Oh jeez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go with this recruitment brainstorm together? My brainstormed so hard!
Loneliness is easily exploited. Many things are easily exploited, but yeah, loneliness is definitely one of those things. Whatever? You just... Oh right, you didn't see it. You didn't see it. Well, all your question words you spell with the H right after the W. So that's your only real mistake. So move the H to right after the W and now you've got it. But yeah, whatever.
It was like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster.
Same, Sayori. My brain is a natural disaster too, as is the rest of my life.
Sayori, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry, but it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me this? I mean, when would we have the chance to give people cupcakes? You know, like when they come into the club. What if we said we had free cupcakes on the flyers? I'm like kind of worried that would bring in the wrong kinds of people, you know. Wrong kinds? People would come just for the cupcakes and then leave. Oh, nobody would do that. That would be mean. You know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see, the next thing on the list. Hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like, going around the school and finding people who are reading books, you know? Like, in the morning or during lunch. And we tell them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is like, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How would we know if they're just reading for fun? Well, we could ask them.
Doing whatever, more situations, doing whatever. It's chat. Like other people are doing whatever. They want like chatting, subbing, or whatever else. Yeah. But it's not just me, right? Monica definitely uses those words a lot more than she used to.
Well, we could ask them, but then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part, I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot of more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall. I definitely like to start doing that. I'm useful! I never said you weren't. I just need to think what we tell people when we hand them out. I don't want to just be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people. What if you told them about the literature club activities and stuff? What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? The mission for the club. Okay, so Yuri, pretend you're a normal person for a second.
Wow! Wow! Pretend you're a normal person. Yikes.
Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club? Probably like, literature's stupid. I'm joining the anime club.
Wow. I don't know who Sayori could be imitating here. Couldn't be the main character, right? No way. She would never be imitating the main character like this.
What the heck? Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Okay, when I said that we like to go reading and discussion and discuss it together, I would probably nap through that. That's you, Sayori.
So you'd be like, I'm useful, I am sad, and so are you, but not right now. Right now I, personally, I am as happy as can be, because I am playing DDLC. I didn't really intend for that to rhyme, but I'm glad it did. It just works out.
Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know? This sucks. Why is this so hard? Monica, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you the chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self. Be intimate with us.
Oh. When you have a club that consists mainly of girls and they ask you to be intimate with them, again, that would probably attract the wrong kinds of people. And that was having a fucking epilepsy attack. Sorry to hear that. Jesus. But yeah, so you'll just be like, be intimate with us, with all of us, the entire literature club. Yikes.
kind of... I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. What is it? I forgot all my things in my classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Silly me. Rushed, but weren't... never mind. Did you want to get your stuff then? I'll forget it if I don't do it now. Well, I'll wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take a second.
And we never see her again. Sayori dashes out of the room, leaving Monika momentarily alone. Monika sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper.
Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart.
Write the way into his heart. I see some lyrics coming in here. Write the way into his heart is where this one goes, definitely. Okay.
Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. Wow, that's lame.
Wow.
Monika! You startled me. Sorry. But it's something important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry and recruit her. Wait, are you sure she's not just doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look.
Yuri follow instructions? No. Monika grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. Then the two depart the classroom, with Sayori leading the way. We're gonna run into Yuri. We're gonna run... It's definitely gonna be Yuri. It has to be Yuri. Girl with a book. She... Going to make him write literature about two things he don't know. Wow. Well, if I don't know anything about the topic, it's gonna be, you know, remember that poem where I had to write with the theme of, what was it, quantum physics, and I managed to pull something off, so yeah. Also did a song about DDLC. Who did a song about DDLC? Correct? About oh, okay, that's gonna be tricky. Though I did feel a lot of that during the anniversary stream, I'll have you know. This way!
You don't have to run.
Sayori leads Monika over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper.
See, in here!
Monika peers through the window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book.
I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I would probably scare her away. Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Monika takes a deep breath, then timidly enters the classroom. Yuri! Oh, we don't get to see her? Something connected to dopamine? Yeah. And dopamine fills your brain. A rare occurrence, but it's always fun when it does happen.
That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up from her book. So I kinda just left the flyer on her desk and then walked out. That's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now?
The two head back to the club room, Sayori feeling rather accomplished and Monika still feeling a bit embarrassed about the encounter. Upon returning, Monika and Sayori resume their strategy meeting. They discuss various different kinds of recruitment tactics, from professional to silly. After going through Sayori's list and with Monika coming up with ideas of her own, the two end in a better spot than from where they began.
Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah! I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this?
Sayori appears at the sheet of paper Monika was jotting on earlier.
Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. That's so cute. I thought it was a little overdramatic. But
Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment.
You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What do you mean? Like, I don't know, I feel like I can tell from talking to you today.
Wow. Also stop the thermal thing. That was a one-time mistake I made. But yeah. Wait, when did I say that? When did I say you don't deserve to die or live? When did I say that? I can't actually remember saying that.
It seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but... Would you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go, and it's like I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it, but it feels like we only have one shot at it, so I'm just really afraid of it deviating from that, the vision. What's the vision? It's...
Monica pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs.
I don't know. I just want everyone to...
Monica trails off. Smiling, so taps her finger against the sheet of paper. Write the way into your heart.
I think what you're trying to do is to make the club that you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course, but I'm here to help you.
Monica returns Sayori's smile.
It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're really gonna make this the best club ever.
Sayori nods, and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner. And the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks the moment with a big yawn.
Time to go home. You tell me, you're the president. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too!
Sayori beams and grabs her things.
You can go on ahead, I need a few minutes still. Oh, I can wait! That's alright, I just want some alone time. In that case...
Sayori waves enthusiastically at Monica.
Good luck!
Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the club room. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. By the way, I think I played, what was it? Brawlhalla? I think I played it once in the past when I was at a friend's house. You say it's better than Smash, but in my opinion, nah. But that may be mainly because I'm such a huge Smash fan that yeah, it was just a little bit off to me, and it didn't feel, the controls didn't feel as nice. Personal opinion, I know. Sayori spin on the y-axis out of the classroom would be interesting. Nerd. Wow. Wow. Of course. No nerd here. Actually, huge nerd here. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she dedicates it. She decides it was something that she probably needed right about now.
The club that I need the most. I don't get it. I just want to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that. Because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who's forced to always smile and blend in. The person who's forced to be perfect.
Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk.
Did Sayori leave this behind? I hope she doesn't have her homework in it.
Worried, Monica opens the folder to check.
Poems.
It's a folder of poems. Become the flower. That was really sarcastic and I love it. Sarcasm? I don't know what that is. How to tell someone gonna die. Your mitochondria will stop working. Oh no. Okay, become the flower. A feeling of joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers, as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment, yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, 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 so pretty in my hair. Pluck, 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 you're going to die. And you too. Beneath my feet a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction, and the field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. And that is why I've decided I must become the flower. Well, that's a big yikes, but I mean, we knew she was depressed, but wow. Another very depressing poem. If you know the meaning behind it, of course, naturally, but yikes. I'm the flower. Wow. Is it every time? Don't we all need to have... The happy chemicals are a good thing when you get it, but you sadly don't get it too often.
What the... Wait, Sayori?
So Monica knew from the very beginning, basically. She basically knew from the very beginning. Well, time for Trust Part 2. Immediately jumping into the second one. Because I can't wait, I have no self-control. How many are there? So 12 side stories in total. Okay then. 12 side stories in total. Next one. Another yes, another day. Trust Monica, of course, who else would I trust? Pluck, you will die. We will all die. The question is if when we die we can bring someone happiness, like Sayori tries to do. Talk about death and extinctionism. Maybe another time. I mean, death is a topic that's all around us, so yeah. I mean, you can talk about it all you want. Doesn't mean I'll get involved in the conversation necessarily, but I do try to get involved with chat as much as possible. Because that is what I like to do. Another day passes in a flash. It's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem.
I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori's going through these kinds of feelings and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time I didn't think to ask her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision.
BRB gotta go to another streamer. Okay, Raw, thanks for being here. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern.
Monica, is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend.
Monica shakes her head.
I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours.
Sayori responds quietly.
What are you talking about?
But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters a realization.
I left my folder here.
Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. Ivanov, bye! Or are you just saying goodbye to Rob? In any case, goodbye. I'm just gonna say goodbye just to play it safe. But thanks for being here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response.
I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right?
Wordlessly, Sayori nods.
Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me.
Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy.
This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday, it was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy, so if you do this, then you're just being selfish.
Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things, but as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of a friend.
I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. I would have at least needed to check it if it was mine. Yeah.
Monica takes a deep breath.
Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what?
Monica pauses to collect her thoughts.
This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, that's our vision. It's our vision. Right the way into your heart. Or whatever. So I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that.
Sayori smiles gently. Like how Sayori uses playing dumb because everyone that for her somehow works. Poor Sayori though, we all know. Plus figuring out that Monica knew from the very beginning basically, just like 2 days after she met her. Actually, right the day after she met her, she immediately figured out that Sayori was depressed. And the main character who knew Sayori for basically his entire life, hasn't figured it out until Sayori straight up told him so. Like that difference. Oh yeah, I knew Sayori my whole life, but I had no idea she was depressed until she told me. Monica, I've known her for like a day, and I figured it out. I mean, to be fair, Sayori was a little bit careless because she left her folder behind and that kind of helped Monica figure it out, but you know what I want to say here, right? Main character be dense, we know that.
I'll promise if you promise.
Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayori's smile.
I promise. Me too.
As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities.
So, wanna teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about your recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need, like, some motivation.
Stop it with the constant like. This isn't like you, Monica.
I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You kinda just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kinds of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where you have to go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put in and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way, but it's a really good way to not get stuck right in the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important.
Monica pulls out a pen and paper to start writing on.
Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. I'm just kidding.
Monica scribbles out "you idiot" before she writes it down.
No, keep it! What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not! But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just... well, yeah.
Underneath the scribble, Monica rewrites "you idiot" and stares at the paper. The words stare back at her.
It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did that exact thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you! Thanks, I do too.
Sayori, it's nice that you believe in Monica, but it's not gonna turn out well.
Me, I mean. But also you, of course.
Monica continues to exercise, jotting down her thoughts. Surprisingly, quite a struggle to write about without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Yeah, already. I think we're probably... I'm not sure how far we can go today, actually. Let me think. Let's say it takes about an hour for 2 side stories to finish. That means I should be able to do 6 side stories. And there are 12, so meaning... I could get half of them done today, maybe. But I'm not entirely sure. Depending on how much I focus on chat, it might be less, or it might be more. We'll see. Monica looks up and down at her sheet.
Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. But it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you.
Sayori beams.
I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the luggage. Yay! Let's do it!
Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more and more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel. It's only a matter of time before they find more members. Only one here, so I could stop writing unless you ask me something or something like that. It's up to you. Another day passes. As usual, Monica's the first one in the club room. With her is a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Cyril came up with.
If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one, but...
The new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer, right the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart, but the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students.
Why do I feel so tense looking at this?
Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise.
Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about?
The literature club is truly beginning to take form, but with that the weight on Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints, and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort.
It's suffocating. But I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself for real.
Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move, and she gets a big dark puddle of ink. Yeah, instead a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper.
Come on, Monica. Just move your hand right the way into your heart.
Monica writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Huh. I mean, it's a short poem, but it's decent, I guess. Have you watched Tommy in its funny mods? Don't think so. No. But anyway, Rob, welcome back. Hope you had fun. Hope you had fun going to another streamer instead of supporting me. Okay, but for real, welcome back. Time to Minecraft? Wow. Okay. You do you. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. And falls asleep again, only to be woken up by Sayori in a second. The air conditioner seems louder today.
I'm here. Hi.
Monica hears Sayori approach her desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down at the adjacent desk.
Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too.
I read that so happily. Hey, one question? Sure, go ahead and ask. Unless it's for Rob, then go ahead and ask Rob, not me.
You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable.
Sayori takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Good question about the Minecraft server. I guess I wouldn't mind. The thing is, I already feel bad that because I technically am already playing on a Minecraft server with a friend, and I already play on that so incredibly rarely that if I now join another Minecraft server as well, I feel like that'd just be two servers I feel like I'd be partially abandoning all the time for weeks on end. But other than that, I mean, I don't have anything against the idea, as long as you don't mind me rarely showing up. I do not have the original Minecraft, so it doesn't let me join. Tried something down, then stares at it for a while.
Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything.
Siri gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Huh. I mean, same, but, you know, still yikes. Sometimes I want to die. Wonderful poem. A truly wonderful poem, and one I feel like I can relate to a lot.
Sayori, this is really, really hard for me.
Her voice shakes.
So, if I can do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true.
Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. You pirated Undertale, you monster. I mean, sailing the seven seas, hooray, it's fun. I don't think I've ever pirated... I don't pirate games, but technically I may or may not be sailing the seven seas when it comes to watching some shows. May or may not be doing that. Oh, some games not. Alright, yeah, sorry. Misread that. It happens. So he takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. Spending money because you... for food and rent. Tea launcher for life.
That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday. I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you, more than I'm scared.
At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. While Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed, Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence.
I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts that I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's
terrible. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing.
It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, people would worry about me and ask what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that.
Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past.
I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone.
Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person.
How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time.
Okay, that's...
Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly, the club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me.
Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them.
Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You are so brave, Sayori. You are so strong and brave. I don't even compare.
Monica steps forward.
But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like.
Wordlessly, without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Let's wait. There we go. Take a good look. New CG. Look at this. Okay. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes, of all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. Hug energy. I haven't felt that for at least a year. I think I need some hug energy as well every now and then. It just helps when you get some, but you don't get it too frequently. She speaks softly.
You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything, I'll never judge you, I promise.
Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice.
I'm so worthless. I'm worthless and everyone would be better off without me.
Look at her cry. Ah. Sayori. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek.
I'm just an inconvenience for everyone. I'm not good at anything, but it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it.
Look at her. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice. falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest.
I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away. And now I'm making you put up with me. And I just want to die.
As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle.
This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend.
Monica offers a few words of comfort. But she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong. And Monica can't magically make them go away. But the main character definitely thinks he can, but Monica is smart enough to realize that she can't. Actually, Monica can do it! Monica can actually do it. In fact, she has the power to alter the files, at least in the future. But she doesn't use her powers to make these thoughts go away, she only makes them worse. And whereas the main character thinks he can help, he thinks he can help, but he can't. Monica thinks she can't help, but she technically can, but chooses to do the exact opposite in the future. Horrible. Someone from stuff with people. It's from my... yikes. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friend would do.
You have so much value. To me, and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought us happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right?
Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a little while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes.
I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time I'll make sure things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are.
The two exchange smiles.
You know, I am sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional?
Sayori nods.
It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah, well, of course it will always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would.
Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches.
Wow, that made me tired. And hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy.
Monica smiles.
But I might want to get a snack first.
All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks in. It's Yuri, isn't it? A face that seems familiar. It's the girl that was reading the book, and it's Yuri. But it cuts out here. And of course, the next side story is with Yuri. Who would have guessed? Yuri time. Are you ready for quality time with Yuri and Sayori? It's time for Sayori. Okay, let's go. Yes! Side story time. Let's go. Next one. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monica and Sayori to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks in. A face that seems familiar. She's here. Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously mouths to Monica.
It's her! It's the girl!
It's true, the girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in the classroom. Thanks to Monica leaving the flyer on her desk, it seems she's found her way to the club.
Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is the literature club. Please come inside.
The girl fully steps into the door but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sir continues to fail, containing her excitement.
It's happening! Oh my gosh!
I am excited too. Sayori, I'm just so hyped right now as well. Sayori's hyped. I am hyped. This works out.
Thank you so much for coming. Sorry it's a little empty. I'm Monica and this is Sayori. We run the literature club even though it's just us so far, but what's your name by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh. Do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you.
The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down.
So, what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori and this is Monica. Sayori, I already... Nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books?
Yuri looks at Monica.
Fantasy's cool. Yes, have you heard of Annabelle Dupont? I can't say I have. Oh, well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her fifth book and it's just...
Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy.
You can borrow my books, I wouldn't mind.
Ah, look at that, she's already fitting in perfectly.
You're really in for an incredible experience.
Monica stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help.
I'd love to! It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great! I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them.
Yuri quickly stands up.
I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. Ah! You probably only need to bring one for now.
Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri set down on her desk. Yikes.
True. Okay, I'll get the first one then.
Yuri exits the club room in a flash, leaving Monica and Sayori silently exchanging glances.
Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have like no experience with fantasy, except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably like a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature.
Also, since when is Yuri so intense? I mean, I know she can get kind of intense. She can get kind of intense during Act 2, but usually she's more of the silent type. Why is she so much more active here? Interesting. That's really interesting.
It'd be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but what if it's her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that? Monica, don't you think you should be more optimistic?
Yeah, I definitely am wondering. That's one of the reasons why I'm not reading chat too actively right now, because I'm like, okay, they're talking about they have their own conversation going. I'm not going to intrude on that. But by all means, I don't mind if people have conversations amongst each other in chat. I don't mind that at all. After all, it's one of the things that I really like, and I said it already, that I really like just giving people this opportunity to just share their thoughts with each other and stuff like that. I know there are many other places where you can do that, but just the fact that I know that my channel is one of those places where people can just hang out and chat and stuff like that, it's something I appreciate. But yeah.
You have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty, I just got really anxious all of a sudden. It's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. What the heck? It's kind of scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. I just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping with the administration stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Yay! That's exactly what I want to do! Besides,
Sayori lowers her voice.
I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get.
She taps her finger against the dauntingly chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterward, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return.
I'm back.
Her breath is slightly heavy, which, combined with her short time gone, indicates she may have ran at least part of the way. She makes her way back over to Sayori and sets the book down on the desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought for her is just about equal in size to the one already on Yuri's desk.
Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start.
Sayori nervously interjects.
Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. You know, I think like, if we're gonna be reading together, then I would like that.
From across the room, Monika smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking.
Oh, okay.
Yuri sits down, then looks at her book, then glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add.
So, what made you decide you wanted to join this club? Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because
Yuri glances over at Monika.
Monika came into my classroom and put the flyer on my desk.
Suddenly, Yuri's face darkens and she shakes her head at herself.
I was so stupid, I got too nervous and couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It took me several days just to come here because I was afraid that Monika told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I decided that was probably irrational. Wait, no, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just walked out. I was actually really hoping that you could come by.
Yuri exhales in relief.
I always seem to interpret things as the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too, such as there being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet a large number of people at once. So it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time. That makes me happy. I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come.
Yuri smiles warmly to herself.
I've never really had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same thing as I am, except online. So I thought the literature club would provide a chance for me to do that. What kind of things are you into? Like genres? I don't know, just anything, even if it's not literature. Just things you would think are dumb.
Sayori pauses, a look of concern on her face.
How about I'll tell you about something that I'm into, and you can tell me about something that you're into? I suppose that would be okay. Okay. Well, I'm pretty into crafty things. Like making cute little collages or decoration things. Like cards or jewelry boxes. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends, but then I put it off until the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly that I'm into. You sound quite creative. Not that much, it's just you'd be surprised by how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. So I have to share something that I'm into now, right?
Sayori nods.
Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature! Monika, I'm gonna start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck with me now. Am not. Oh, yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as vice president of the literature club. There, now you're stuck with me. Hey, don't give me responsibilities. I'm sorry, Yuri, I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine.
Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off.
I like going out into the woods or to the park, just places where you can walk or sit and not have any people around.
Gonna go, so bye. We'll probably go back here. Alright, Rob, thanks for being here today. Really appreciate it. See you around. See you around. See you. You know what? I'm gonna take that opportunity to hydrate real quick. Okay. My water levels have improved.
It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while.
When do you like to do that?
It just depends on my mood. After school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it.
Wow, I feel like I would never have the time to do something like that.
Of course I drink water. Water is the superior choice of beverage. When it comes to beverages, you can never go wrong with good old classic H2O. The liquid of life. Can never go wrong.
I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do, if you don't let it slip through your fingers.
The three continue their conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monica chiming in every now and then as well. And death, I mean, everything can cause death if you think about it. In the wrong amounts, you know. Everything can kill you in some way or another, if you really challenge fate. If you drink too much water, that could kill you, yeah. I am aware. The three continue the conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monica chiming in every now and then as well. Monica had intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more.
Oh, it looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So, are you two going to be starting that book on the next club meeting?
That's the plan!
I'm so excited.
Sayori beams, Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monica with a gentle smile.
Bye!
As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monica are left in the club room.
Sayori, your lifesaver.
I didn't do anything, I just talked.
Still.
Besides, it really lifted my mood. It feels really nice when I can put my energy towards other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? It made me happy.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book for our next meeting?
I'm kinda scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best.
I think you'll do great.
After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted or something new to look forward to. Next day, another school day ends. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room.
It's club time again.
No voice cracks? I will always have voice cracks.
My voice is the best at cracking. Monica went to the computer lab, so it's just the two of us today. Is that okay?
Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact.
I'm sorry about yesterday.
Sayori tilts her head, unsure of what exactly Yuri's talking about.
Well, I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so...
Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were.
Well, still... I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it.
Huh? Why?
Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested.
But... if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing.
I've already decided I'll join the club so you don't have to try so hard to entice me.
That's not what I was doing.
A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. So?
Well, the thing is, we don't even have any club activities yet. I mean, Monica and I have just been working on recruitment stuff mostly. So it just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading your books. You know, like as a club activity. That would be okay, right?
Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this.
You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can help you feel more comfortable here.
Sayori pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book.
Duskbell. Part 1 of the Everlast Saga. It's Duskbell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now.
Oh, alright, I should probably get some paper.
Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper.
Oh? How come you need paper?
Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just for taking notes.
Notes? Yes, that's an effective strategy.
Exactly, I am sure it will be especially helpful for someone new to the genre.
Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head. But thinking about it, she decides that it's probably for the best that it did.
Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to make it as accessible as possible.
I trust you. You're like super smart.
Oh, please.
You're like the smartest in the club, Yuri, hey! Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush.
You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart, especially you.
No!
Yuri rubs her shoulder against Yuri's.
You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy.
Anyway, would you like to get started?
Okay.
After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of which she details, the races, factions, history, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards.
How do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do.
What kind of writing?
Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write are just like putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work.
Oh, so you're into poetry. I think there's appendix that includes some of the items written works like poetry and folk songs.
No way!
Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she's heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun.
Anyway, I think we can get started reading now if you're ready.
Okay, but I can't read very fast.
Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in.
I see.
Sayori jots Yuri is patient into her notes.
Hey, that's for the book.
I'm just kidding. But I'm kinda glad you're patient, because I need that sometimes. A lot of times.
Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents.
Okay, chapter 1.
The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read. But the silence only lasts for a moment before Sayori speaks up again.
What does vindicated mean?
Oh, well, in this context, it essentially means that he was proven innocent.
It's okay to ask questions, right?
Oh, of course.
Sayori turns the page.
Are these footnotes?
A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood.
The two continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions had been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. Oh, how the turntables! Back. Anything happened? Well, I don't know exactly how long you were... Wait, actually, let me scroll back up. How long... You were gone a while, right? Yeah, since you said bye, that's been a while. Well, Yuri's in the literature club, which is fun, and Yuri and Sayori are currently reading a book together. One of Yuri's books. So yeah. They're having fun. Yuri officially joined the club immediately the moment she came in. I'm hyped. But we still have to, you know, wait for Natsuki to arrive before the literature club is the literature club we know and love. But we'll get to that. For now, let's just be happy that Yuri has joined. We now have Sayori, Monika, and Yuri. We're just missing Natsuki and the main character, but I get the strong feeling that the main character isn't gonna join in the side stories. Oh, how the turntables.
Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present?
Where?
Right here.
They're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnas is having.
But they didn't tell me that.
It's implied from the context.
Sayori rubs her temples. The two of them continue, with Sayori asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value in the notes, as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often and even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes from her getting... comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. Maybe she will. And Debbie, welcome! Welcome to the stream. You're here a bit earlier than normally. Happy to know that. We're currently playing the side stories of DDLC+. Yes, it is time. We finished all the content of the main game. We're finally doing the side stories. We're currently on the third side story out of 12. So this is side story number 3 out of 12. This one focuses on Yuri and Sayori. And we're currently... Natsuki is currently not even part of the literature club. She's the last person to join other than the main character. So, hype. But we'll get to her soon. She'll probably... I think she joins... Not the next... Probably the end of the next side story. And then the side story after that is gonna focus a bit on her again. So I'm excited. Anyway, yeah, more character stuff. You know I'm excited for more DDLC. At last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter.
I think we can stop here for now.
Okay.
Sayori takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far.
So what are your thoughts up to this point?
Sayori tries to find words.
Am I doing well so far?
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going and to keep doing my best so I can see it in the way that you do.
The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades.
I see.
Yuri quietly gathers her things.
We can continue tomorrow, right?
Yuri pauses, then shakes her head.
We can do something else tomorrow.
But...
I'm sorry.
Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand.
I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore. That's all. I'm sorry that I made you.
Yuri leaves.
You weren't making me.
Sayori is left alone with her words.
How did this happen? We were having so much fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monika trusted me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't want to come back?
Drowned in guilt, Sayori stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them.
Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. Ah, this is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough. I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, she would have been having so much more fun. I need to do better for her.
Oh, Sayori. I hope there'll be more part of Markov things. Well, I don't know. I mean, there are some Yuri side stories. Like, yeah, there are some more, as you can see. We have a here, and here, and here, and here. And naturally in the next one too. But right now they're reading a different book, so no Portrait of Markov for us, as sad as it is. Understanding Part 2. Let's go. Understanding Part 2. Let's see if we can understand Part 2. For the first time, Sayori's in the room. For the first time, Sayori is the first to enter the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down.
Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy. But my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment.
Sayori continues to wrestle with her self-depreciating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Minutes pass and nobody enters the club room. Not Yuri or Monica.
Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. I'm going to leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one here.
Monica rounds the corner approaching the club room, and as she does so...
Yuri? Oh.
Yuri jumps at the sound of Monica's voice. She's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door of the club room is open. It's not...
Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room through the window, then looks away.
Actually, I was wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With club publicity stuff? Yes.
Monica is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden when she was so eager to spend time with Sayori before? Well, things happened. Did they not get along after all? Monica looks into the club room herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside.
Okay. It's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too.
Monica is worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic, she realizes, that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club.
Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies for this new flyer, then I'm gonna go around to the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones.
Yuri nods and the two set off. At least tell Sayori that you'll be there a little later. Come on, don't just leave her sitting there alone. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monica finds it quite difficult to strike up conversation.
So, how's everything been going?
Fine.
That's good.
Neither of them follow up with anything more. Look at that. Such interesting conversations, but I feel this so hard. Just like, so, how are you? Good. You too? Yeah, okay. Silence. It's just, I hate that I relate to that. Monica tenses up at the stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it?
I'm sorry I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working. I'm really happy about that.
She's not into it.
Huh?
She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again, as if she started her thoughts but can't figure out how to continue it.
Did something happen?
Yuri sighs.
No, it's just me. I just...
Yuri pauses.
I am thinking.
A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head.
I shouldn't be complaining to you of all people.
Don't be silly, I won't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything.
Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it.
Ah,
Monica pauses and thinks.
well, what do we put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining this club, hopefully anyway. And learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with club activities that everyone can be happy with.
That everyone can be happy with. Not just only some people.
Of course! Hey, you need to be looking out for everyone, otherwise what kind of the club would it be?
I see.
Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monica that switching from the sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs.
Okay.
Yuri takes a deep breath.
I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, I guess, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about any arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things that I'm into, unfortunately so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people, I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into that third category.
What? Hold on, you're saying that Sayori is taking pity on you?
Yuri nods.
I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I am so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it.
Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Cut! Ha! Ha! Yeah, Yuri's good at cutting. See this? I can still make those jokes too. It's not just chat. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stopped short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monica looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down, with her fists clenched.
I think you should tell her that.
I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic.
Sayori's different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So, if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen.
That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so...
No, I think I'm starting to understand.
Monica hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exacerbating the matter. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better.
Sayori wants to be your friend, I promise that. It's okay for people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too. But good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it.
I don't have good communication.
Yuri stops and shakes her head.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just... it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it.
Yuri pauses to think.
I'm so tired of this cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so pathetic, so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me.
Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales.
I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. You're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping me make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah.
Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something.
This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So, thank you.
Anytime.
Monica smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monica's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Look at you go, Yuri. You're making progress. You and Monica finish replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monica mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation.
I can't do this.
Yes, you can. It'll be great.
Yuri sighs and shakes her head.
I'm never going to feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will.
Yuri starts towards the club room, but then turns to face Monica.
You're not just going to wait outside, are you?
I can take a walk. Want me to get you a coffee or something?
Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own though, so please don't worry about it. Although I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading.
Are they gonna bring up the thing about taking the tea set to the club room?
Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this.
You know, now that you mention it, I bet we could get permission to keep that stuff, to keep stuff for tea in the club room. You can use like an electric kettle to heat up water, right?
Would that really be possible?
I'll look into it. I think it would be great.
Yuri smiles, then nods at the thought.
Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck.
Monica waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door.
Yuri? Wait, hold on, I'm not done yet.
Sayori shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayori has been spending her afternoon.
I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first. But I got most of the way through it. And look!
Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair.
I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard.
Stop.
Yuri presses her fists against her forehead.
Please stop. I can't take this.
Yuri?
Sayori's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response she was expecting. No.
I'm sorry.
Sayori looks away in guilt.
Did I do something wrong? I don't understand, so if I did something wrong, please tell me.
Yuri shakes her head.
No. It's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay, please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird.
But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought that if we did something together that you really like...
I don't want your pity.
Okay, Yuri, just come out and say it. That's what you were meant to do.
Why did I do that?
Yuri sinks to her knees, her voice squeaks.
I'm sorry.
Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard just to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here before Monica sees her like this, and before Sayori tells Monica what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind.
It's okay.
There we go, and this is it. This is the one new artwork I have seen before, because of the lovely people over on my Discord. I don't blame anyone. Plus, this was also on the, you know, on the down. This is also one of the first images you see if you try to get the game. So this is the one image that is hard to avoid. But here it is, for the first time seeing it in game. Oh no, you can't let the book. You can't have the book down there. So we. Hey, I said it. Listen back to what I just said. It's also right there when you try to get the game. So when you try to buy the game, you're basically confronted with this image as well. It's not something you can avoid. So again, no fault lies with you on this. I just saw it a little bit earlier because of you, but I would have seen it before getting the game anyway. So yeah. It might have been in the trailer, but I never watched the trailer. Ivanov, I never watched the trailer for DDLC Plus. The reason I never watched the trailer was because I was worried about it potentially showing some stuff that I wanted to experience for the first time in here. So yeah, that's why I never watched the trailer. I can think about going back and watching the trailer once I'm already completely done with the game, but I still have to get through all the other side stories first, so yeah.
It's okay.
Sayori whispers in a soothing voice.
It's okay. It's okay.
Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through her clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself.
I understand. I understand that the thing you're feeling in your head are... The things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. I promise I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings and we'll talk about them together, okay?
Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice.
I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people, so it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am.
Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue.
I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests, because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. That's all I have going for me. But then, whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself.
Oh, Yuri.
That's all.
Yuri finishes her thought, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well.
Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things you need to.
But I feel like it would just be frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes.
That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me. But
I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience.
yeah, I know, but my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right?
Yeah, irrational fears.
Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person that you are. I know you said you have a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know, worrying so much about people's feelings. We're all kind of weird, it's a literature club. But it's the best part that we're all different. We have different interests. Like, about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise that's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but I try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons that you love it so much. In the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that. If it's not for me, I can say that. But I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart, and I want that to rub off on me.
Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. Already, the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms.
Your hair's so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off.
Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening, rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. Must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people, but if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience.
Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading.
That's what I wanted to hear.
But we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended.
Of course. I'm not gonna judge anything this early on, though, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Oh, and it's not good to touch people without their consent first.
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable.
Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying.
I'm back. Monica's back! Haven't seen you at all recently.
Sayori trots over to Monica.
Ah,
She whispers loudly.
can I hug you?
Sure, Sayori.
Sayori wraps her arms around Monica. Look at her asking for consent. That's my girl.
Oh yeah, Yuri. It might be good to know Sayori can be kind of a hug monster.
Oh,
Hey, don't call me a monster! Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster.
Yuri laughs. Monica perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles.
well, I'm glad to know you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as the literature club. About that, well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like.
Yes! Do you like poetry?
Yuri smiles. Poem time. And that was the next side story. Let me hydrate real quick before we do the next one. I enjoy some good old H2O. Now let's see. So we completed Trust Part 1 and 2 and Understanding Part 1 and 2. Which means now it's time for some respect. Respect best girl and second best girl, okay? Please. Show them respect. It's time to meet Natsuki. Time for the final important member to join. We don't count the main character. It's been several weeks since the club has officially started. Through the initial setbacks, the three club members so far, Monica, Sayori, and Yuri, have increased their collective bond within the club. Sayori has partaken in some of Yuri's 5 fantasy literature, and all three of them, led by Sayori, have taken an interest in poetry. On a day like any other, the three of them find themselves suddenly interrupted by the club room door opening. It's time for best girl to finally arrive. Always save the best for last, you know. And in walks a girl none of them have seen before.
Hi.
Sayori tugs excitedly at Monica's sleeve. Yuri shifts in her seat and buries her eyes in her book.
Are you here for the literature club?
Yeah?
Yay, that's great. Thanks for stopping by. It's kind of a small club still, but so it's really exciting to see new faces.
Yeah! Come and sit down somewhere. You can sit next to my desk.
Sayori prances over to the desk and presses her palms onto it.
Oh, and Yuri, you can make, and Yuri can make some tea. Oh,
Yuri looks up at Sayori in protest for having drawn attention to her. How could you point out that I am here? I just want to be invisible. Natsuki silently glances between everyone, then sits down next to Sayori. Monika follows by, sitting nearby. The sudden gathering prompts Yuri to stand up, deciding that standing in the corner and making tea doesn't sound so bad after all. Yeah.
Okay, then how about we all introduce ourselves?
Okay.
Well, I'm Monica. I'm the one who started this club. I was originally in the debate club, but I really wanted to do something I felt more passionate about, if that makes sense. So I started the literature club as a way for people to express themselves through writing or reading or whatever other kind of literature.
You know, I figured it was your club. You have that vibe.
I have what vibe?
Oh, you know, like, never mind. I'm not gonna judge people I just met like that.
very adult-like of you. I always judge people so hard.
Oh, no, you don't, Sayori. Yes, she does.
Yuri's deadpan voice carries across the room. Natsuki giggles.
I'm Sayori. I just like learning about everyone and making friends. Oh, and I also like poetry.
Oh yeah? Very adult-like of you.
I'm an adult.
The sound of Yuri's electric kettle steaming up fills the room.
Oh, that's Yuri.
Sayori lowers her voice.
She's kinda shy, but she's really nice and super smart. She likes big fantasy books and tea, and I love her.
Well, I guess that leaves me then. I'm Natsuki. I like listening to music and hanging out downtown and stuff. And my favorite ice cream flavor is strawberry.
Ooh, let's get ice cream. My favorite flavor is probably...
Cookie dough? Or maybe chocolate?
It's cookie dough.
Wow, look at her being able to guess that easily. But cookie dough is amazing. Cookie dough, ice cream, yeah. Ah, that's the good stuff. And Monica's is probably vanilla.
What the heck?
I take way too many online quizzes. The ice cream ones are always accurate.
What's Yuri's favorite?
Natsuki shrugs. Probably green tea. I'm just joking, I have no idea for Yuri.
Still.
It's pretty chill here. Do you like just hang out, or do you actually do club stuff?
Well, we do club stuff too. It just hasn't been very structured yet since we only have like 3 members, so we kinda just loosely spend our time doing the stuff we like. But I keep thinking that's about time we start with like some more structured club activities. It's been a while by now since I started the club, so yeah. Well, with that being said, what kind of literature are you into, Natsuki? Anything you'd like the club to get into?
Well, I guess I'm literature. Well, I like manga.
Manga?
Hey, why do you say it like that?
I want to read manga in the club.
Wait, hold on a second.
That sounds so great. Like after all I've been doing all this,
Yuri returns to the desk with a tray of teacups, which she sets down on an empty desk.
after all the deep and immersive reading I've been doing, I wouldn't mind doing something a little more simple.
Manga isn't simple. If you think that, you just don't understand the nuances.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean simple like that.
Well, anyway, putting manga aside, is there any other kind of literature that you're interested in?
Well, not really.
In that case, have you considered the anime club?
Monica, you have a new club member here. Don't turn her away like this. How could you? Manga is literature. Manga is literature. You cannot turn her away like that. Don't just say, oh, yeah, go to a different club. We don't want you here. Are you serious? I'm not gonna join the anime club? Why? Just because it's full of a bunch of otakus who would freak out at the sight of a girl? Is that what you're talking about? It's full of weird guys. Yeah, figured as much. come on, is it that big a deal? Manga is literature, right?
I mean, I guess if you consider the literal definition of literature, then technically...
I get it, look. I'll do whatever club activities you want, can I please just join? I won't bother anyone. If I can just like keep my manga here and hang out after school, I'll do literally whatever you want me to do. That's fine, right?
Yeah, I guess there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh my god, thank you. You're the best. I have most of it crammed into my locker, so I'm gonna start getting it, okay? Natsuki stands up.
Need some help?
Nah, I got it. I want you to see my locker.
If you say so, but there's no way it's worse than mine.
I hope we never find out then. Natsuki exits the club room, leaving everyone in silence, save for the sound of Yuri sipping her tea.
Oh, I'm such a pushover.
Hey, it's not that bad. Natsuki seems like a lot of fun.
Maybe, but I mean, she has like no actual interest in literature, you know? And that's normally fine, but she said she would participate in club activities like it's some kind of obligation. Her tea is going to get cold. Yeah. Wait, that's not related.
Well, I think everyone deserves a chance. Especially if we can bring her happiness. Besides, maybe she'll take a liking to literature.
She already likes literature, she reads manga. Come on, people, catch up with the times. Manga is literature just as much as visual novels are literature, and of course long novels are literature too. Come on, just be accepting.
You sure you don't just want to read her manga, Sayuri?
Hey, who do you think I am?
Sorry, I didn't mean that. I just feel really uneasy about this. Do you have any opinions, Yuri? Not particularly. She said she wasn't going to bother anyone. That includes me, so...
Does that mean I bother you?
No, you're a pleasure to be around.
I was just fishing for a compliment.
Oh, I know.
But still, I really think we should give her a chance.
Yeah, alright. But I really am gonna have to... I'm really gonna start enforcing club activities. I'm willing to cooperate.
Suddenly the three of them hear a thump against the door.
What was that?
So he stands up and walks over to the door, then opens it. Thank you! Carrying 3 boxes of what is presumably manga, Natsuki grunts and wobbles inside before slowly bending over and dropping the stack onto the floor as gently as she can.
That's quite a collection.
Sayuri giggles in excitement while catching her breath. Natsuki replies. There's still 1 more box? I can put them away myself, I know how to organize them. Monika anxiously glances between Sayuri and Yuri. Is this really okay for the club? Maybe it's what she needs to really kick the club into gear before everyone gets too complacent. It seems like things are finally going to start getting more serious. And just like that, Best Girl has officially joined. At the next club meeting, Monika is the first to arrive. But ever since Natsuki joined, she feels a lot less relaxed.
Why am I so nervous?
Monika paces, trying to figure out her feelings. Natsuki said she wasn't going to bother anyone, so why does it feel like the atmosphere has changed so much? While Monika thinks, the club door opens, revealing Natsuki carrying a box. Monika forces a smile as Natsuki makes her way to the closet. Natsuki forces one in return.
Need help?
No, I got it. Monika awkwardly tries to start some kind of conversation, but fails. Curious, she peers into the closet where Natsuki is stashing all of her manga. One stall with school supplies, the shelves are now vibrant with bright colors and cute-looking artwork.
You know, the top shelf is pretty empty. Maybe you could keep it up there.
I can't reach up there. That would be so inconvenient.
Yeah, but
Monika sighs.
the teachers are going to ask what all this manga is doing here, and I have to tell them it's for the literature club.
So? Monika backs off and slumps into her desk. With this kind of tension, it feels like the relaxed atmosphere accumulated over the past few weeks is being sucked right out of the room.
Good afternoon!
Sayuri spins into the club room. Why does she always spin? She likes that. I can just imagine her constantly opening the door and just spinning into the room. I just got that. I can't get that image out of my head. Whenever I see, whenever Sayori enters, or whenever Sayori comes into frame, I'm always gonna have to imagine her spinning in. Oh, I see someone's in a good mood.
Yeah, because I have this.
Sayori brandishes a cookie wrapped in plastic.
I found some money and got a cookie. Ooh, that's so pretty.
Sayori trots over to the closet. The colorful shelves catch her eye.
Which one do I start with?
Well, you can start by giving me a bit of that cookie.
No way. I saved up all my luck to find that money.
If you want entry into my kingdom, you need to pay the tax, peasant.
Boo.
Defeated, Sayori unwraps her cookie and breaks off a piece for Natsuki. Then Yuri silently walks into the club room. Monika glances at her with pleading eyes. Yuri returns a quick nod of understanding.
Everyone's here now.
Despite the club only having one more person than before, it somehow feels twice as lively. Well, that's just Natsuki for you.
Okay, so I think today we should go over some potential club activities and see which ones we want to do first. We have 4 members now, so it would be great if we found some stuff to do as a group. Does that sound good to everyone? I agree. Okay, so I have some ideas of my own, but I want to hear your ideas too.
Well, I've been having a lot of fun learning about everyone else's interests. Maybe we can give each person a day to share their favorite kind of literature with everyone else.
Well, maybe. Something tells me that...
Monika glances at Yuri and Natsuki, who both appear very unwilling to even consider each other's interests. Ah, yes. The struggle has already begun.
Maybe we can try to come up with something that everyone can enjoy equally. You know, we all wrote on a book to read, something like that. I think we should all collectively try to expand our interests rather than just stick to things we're familiar with.
Why does it feel like I'm being targeted here? Yeah, she kind of is, to be fair.
Natsuki, didn't you say that you would go along with whatever the club wanted to do?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it okay for you to ignore everyone else's preferences. I liked Sayori's suggestion.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but...
Monika's voice trails off. Although she let Natsuki join the club, Monika finds it incredibly difficult to relent to her demands. But she has a point. Giving everyone an opportunity to share their interests seems like such a fitting thing to do. Natsuki doesn't respect the club. Why should Monika have to yield to Natsuki's opinion on anything?
Natsuki, are you sure you don't have any other literature interests you could share with the club? I swear I don't mind if you keep your manga in here, but I just...
Natsuki cuts Monika off by suddenly standing up. Well, it's obvious that I'm not wanted here, so I'm just going to leave. But I really would have appreciated you being more upfront about it.
Okay, I think you're kind of jumping to conclusions here, but you're free to do whatever you want.
Monika? This is why you're only second best girl. Don't you dare start a fight with best girl right now. And I immediately lost a viewer. I am sorry to all the Monika fans. Natsuki shoots Monika a quick glare before walking straight out of the room.
Oh no!
So he runs after her, leaving just Monika and Yuri. Leaving just Monika. And Yuri too, but just Monika. For the second time today, Monika slumps down into her desk.
Why am I such a jerk? No, she's a jerk. She's just making me feel this way.
Time paradox? What do you mean time paradox? Huh? What? How? When? Monika looks up at Yuri, seeking affirmation. Yuri looks away.
She probably just went around looking for the smallest club she could find so that she doesn't have to participate. How does she expect me to give her respect when she has no respect for the club? Am I wrong, Yuri? I'm not good at these things.
Monika sighs.
Me neither. I just have no idea what to do. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I feel like it's wrong to enforce club... I feel like it's not wrong to enforce the club vision. You know, like people should join because they want to express their passion for literature, or at least develop it. So, maybe she's not a good fit for the club after all.
She has passion for literature. Manga is literature. Why is it so hard for people to understand that? Monika sits in silence, afraid to accept her tentative conclusion. Yuri looks tense, but she doesn't seem to want to add anything.
You can go back to reading. I know this doesn't concern you. It does. It does? How? Well, I just can't comfortably read in an atmosphere where the peace has been disturbed. Oh. Well, great. I just ruined the whole club then. That's not an accurate conclusion to make. I know, I'm sorry. I just kind of voiced my frustration, and I guess guilt. It's like my frustration wants to blame her, but my guilt wants to blame me. Why is it the hardest to be rational during the times you need it the most? I don't think you're being irrational. I think Natsuki is. She has no authority to walk in here and make demands of the club, your club. Something as ridiculous as manga has no place here. The fact that you're even stirring it for her should make her completely indebted to you.
Okay, Yuri, I am ashamed. I am ashamed that I ever considered you best girl. You know what? You were 3rd place, but now you have officially dropped to 4th place. Meaning Sayori is now going up 1 spot. Sayori is now in 3rd place. Yuri, you have just made it to the bottom of the best girl ranking. I hope you're happy. There was once a time you were at the very top. That time has long passed. And this just pushed you all the way to the bottom.
Well, you're right, but I don't know. Isn't it kind of harsh to say things like it's ridiculous and has no place here? Do you not feel the same way? You've been doing everything you can to avoid associating the club with it, so I assumed you felt the same way about it. That's not true. Well...
Recalling her confrontations with Natsuki, a realization starts to set in.
You may be right. I mean, if it was anything besides manga, would I really be acting like this? Maybe I've just been convincing myself that it has nothing to do with the manga. I'm really upset that I would let myself do that.
With a sigh, Monika walks over to the closet. She finds herself staring at the colorful shelves.
It's just... this really wasn't what I had in mind for a club about literature. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that.
Monika starts defending her position once again. It's a complicated issue that Monika had failed to consider before now. Where's the line even drawn at what's considered literature? Lost in thought, she reaches into one of the larger box sets and pulls out a volume, inspecting it for no particular reason. The cover features 4 girls striking cute, exaggerated poses, all dressed in short skirts.
Yeah, I mean...
Amused by the absurdity of the cover, Monika opens the book. And that's how it ends. Okay, then. Well, it's time to put some respect out for the literature. We need literature respect. Manga is literature. Respect manga. It has to happen. Respect part 2. Yes. This sucks. Why is Monika such a jerk? She should be grateful that I even joined her stupid club. It's not like she can find any members.
Monika's usually really nice. She cares so much about everyone in the club being happy.
Yeah, right.
Well, she usually does.
Maybe when she's not busy being so judgmental. So what if I'm into manga? Why can't just one person accept that instead of being so condescending about it?
I accept it. I think it's cute.
Oh, come on, that's condescending too.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I just want to support you.
Natsuki sighs. I know, thanks. It just really sucks.
Do you want me to talk to Monika?
I don't know. It's not like it's gonna change her opinion of me. Like, even if you were to convince her to back off, that wouldn't suddenly make me feel like I'm actually welcome in the club. I should just find another club.
Wait, you don't have to do that. We can figure this out, please. I mean, I'm the vice president, or at least I think I am.
Natsuki's... Muggled... Natsuki smuggled porn and we know it. Imagine. I mean, that might be the reason why it cut to black when Monica opened the book. She opened it, cut to black, she found the porn stash.
And I don't want you to leave. Everyone deserves to feel welcome and to be happy. So I want to make that happen for you. I was wondering, what was the reason that you decided to join the literature club?
Well, Natsuki hesitates. It's kind of dumb.
Oh, don't say that. There's no such thing as a dumb reason when everyone is welcome.
I wasn't welcome.
You were to me, so...
Just don't tell anyone, okay? Especially Monica.
I promise.
Natsuki sighs. I'm just tired of everyone judging me all the time. I can't enjoy any of the stuff I'm into without people making snotty comments about it. Not that I care about what anyone else thinks, but you know, the signs for a literature club said that you can be yourself or whatever. So I decided it would at least be worth a shot. But that was a lie, apparently. Natsuki dejectedly kicks the toe of her shoe against the wall. Oh, and I like writing too.
Really? How come you didn't say that to Monica?
Because she was being so judgmental that I didn't just want to tell her something she wanted to hear. She didn't deserve that kind of satisfaction. And if she knew I was into writing, then she would just be like everyone else and try to push me away from the manga in favor of the more mature thing. The two of them remain silent for a while. Sayo understands that it's out of the question for Natsuki to return to the club room for today, at least. But Natsuki has a reason for wanting to join the club just like everyone else. It's part of the club vision for her to be welcome.
You deserve to express yourself as much as everyone else does. That's supposed to be what the club is for. So, I'm going to do everything I can to fix this. I promise.
Sayori can fix everything. It's lunchtime the next day. You know, she can fix everything except her own mental state. The cafeteria and hallway are bustling, with students rushing to meet with their friends and make the most out of that limited break time.
Where could she be?
Among them is Monica, who always eats lunch in her classroom, but she has some additional business today. Fearing Natsuki would avoid coming to the club, Monica decided to try to find her during lunch so that she could make amends. After searching for an extensive time, Monica finally spots her. Despite her short stature, Natsuki's bright hair helps her stand out from the crowd.
Oh gosh.
Suddenly feeling awkward, Monica is afraid to get closer. Natsuki is with some friends whom Monica doesn't recognize, and they're all energetically chatting together. It would be really tactless to just interrupt them. Oh crap, we got silhouettes. New people! Oh yeah, did you end up joining that literature club or what? Of course I joined, why wouldn't I? I told you she wouldn't join. Come now. You know she only joined because she wouldn't stop giving her crap about because you wouldn't stop giving her crap about Anime Club. I told you I never wanted to join that stupid club. Oh sure. Well, you have some credit at least for making an effort to finally grow past that trash. True. Well, congrats on finally graduating middle school, Natsuki. We're proud of you. Shut up! Just let me do my thing. I'm just joking. You know we love you. Yeah, once Literature Club makes you a famous writer, we'll be the first ones to buy your books. What? You're gonna buy her smutty fanfiction? Well, obviously I want a... well, obviously I want a signed copy. That was, like, years ago. You don't think I've grown out of it by now? Oh, she wrote fanfictions. How nice. Told you I was joking. Besides, it's a good reminder of just how far you've come since then. Not to mention, you couldn't have done it without us. That gives us a pass to joke about it. Her friends seem like not the best of friends. Yeah, sure. They grow up so fast, it brings a tear to my eye. Natsuki suddenly glances in Monica's direction, prompting Monica to quickly turn away and distance herself.
What the heck?
And that's prompting me to hydrate. Don't know why I'm hydrating so much today. Maybe because I've just, been streaming multiple days in a row now. 3 days in a row, that's a rarity on this channel, isn't it?
That was horrible. I should have said something to defend her. Why do I have to be so conflict avoidant? Not that I deserve to say anything, I'm hardly better than them, after the way I treated her.
I am... Implication? Implication, porn-stash canon, yes.
I'm so awful, I'm not doing anything right.
After school ends, Monica distractedly makes her way to the club room. She finds Yuri already inside, eyes on a book as usual. Monica picks at a desk and slumps into it, something she seems to be doing rather often lately.
Yuri, I don't think I can be club president. I suck at handling anything that doesn't go like exactly my way.
Yuri looks up from her book.
It's like the literature club is a place where you get to express yourself, unless it's in a way that I don't like. I'm so mad at myself. And I'm especially mad that I didn't have the self-reflection skills to realize what I was doing. So much for maturity. Sorry, I really shouldn't be complaining out loud like this. There's just like a ton on my mind. No. I enjoy listening. Really? Why?
Yuri shrugs.
It just makes me feel nice. Oh, well, okay, I guess I'll just continue then.
Yuri nods.
Yeah. Natsuki has kind of a blunt attitude, you know. It made me feel like she wasn't taking the club seriously. I couldn't figure out why she wanted to join. I saw her friends talking to her in the hallway during lunch, and they were just so mean to her, telling her to grow up and stuff like that the literature club would help her grow out of her manga. It just made me so mad, like, just let her enjoy it. It makes her happy. Why are you trying to take that away from her? And when I had that thought, it was when I came to the realization that I was kind of doing the same thing, just in a roundabout way. I should have made her feel good about being passionate about something, but I just dismissed it. No, I was actually trying to avoid acknowledging it at all. I even did that with you, Yuri, when you first joined the club. You did.
Are comics literature? Comics are literature. Written, like comics, visual novels, manga, it's all literature. Seriously, just be honest here.
Yeah, I remember fantasy isn't really my thing, so I was kind of trying to dismiss it, but then Sayori jumped in and took over the conversation. I should have reflected on that, but I didn't, because I just let Sayori handle it instead, and now I'm repeating the same mistake, except I really hurt someone this time.
Monica shakes her head.
I'm so tired of being afraid of things I'm not comfortable with. It's so stupid. Like, I can't just picture how much joy it would bring Natsuki if I let her share her passion a little. I'm so angry that her friends were treating her like that. I'm going to get them back for it. Get them back? Yeah, I'm going to delete them. That's why you don't see them in the main game anymore, because they're gone. I erased them all from existence. I'll get them back by making sure that this literature club... the literature club that Natsuki wants, not the one they want.
Suddenly, Sayori bursts through the door, making Monica and Yuri jump. With a rare, stern face, she marches over to Monica's desk and sits down next to her.
I'm having an intervention. I can do that because I'm vice president.
Is this about Natsuki?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I messed up. I'm super sorry. I was just talking to Yuri about it.
Really?
I was so dismissive of her passion that she felt threatened and probably just unwelcome. Literally the opposite of what the literature club is supposed to be. I really need to make it up to her.
Oh! Yay, I did it!
Thanks for the intervention, Sayori. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Sayori is so successful, she didn't even have to do anything and succeeded.
Friendship wins again! So, how do you want to make it up to her?
I have a plan. Sayori, do you know if Natsuki's coming to the club meeting today?
I don't think she is.
I see.
Monica was afraid of that. Not because of her plan, but because she's facing the consequence of the damage that she's inadvertently caused. But the only way to do the right thing is to face it head on. It's so easy to just duck away from conflict and wait for it to blow over. But that's not enough. To truly respect someone's feelings after you've hurt them is to face them and admit your wrongdoing. Not that the wrongdoing of mismanaging the club, but the wrongdoing of mismanaging the club, but the wrongdoing of disrespecting Natsuki's feelings.
Okay. Do you think we can get her to come to the meeting tomorrow?
I can do that.
Okay, awesome. Yuri, you don't have to worry about anything, but thank you for being my friend. You're a good listener. Hmm?
Fidgeting with her hair, Yuri turns away to hide a smile. Bye, alright Ivanov, goodbye to you. We're gonna do one more side story after this, so feel free to watch it in the archive. And the next time I stream, I'm probably gonna be able to finish the game. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I guess for today, it's going to be a pretty quiet club meeting. I'm going to step out for a bit, is that okay?
Yeah, I'm just gonna read with Yuri. Hey, is that one of Natsuki's books? How come it's out here?
Sayori picks up a manga that was resting on an adjacent desk.
Oh, that, Natsuki probably just left it out by accident.
Monica, are you sure that's not the one you took out?
But I thought she hasn't been coming to the club.
Actually, Monica's been... Okay, Yuri, I'm sure that it was just someone else who was using this classroom then, okay?
Monica smiles at them both. Then, with a wave, she exits the club room. Yeah, Monica doesn't read manga.
I really shouldn't have left that out. If Sayori catches on, she'll definitely tell Natsuki, and that would get really awkward. Now I wonder if there's a keyboard I could borrow from the music room.
Okay, here we go. The time for the next club meeting has already arrived. Monica and Yuri are the first to arrive.
I'm so worried. Do you think Sayori's going to be able to bring Natsuki? Yes. How do you know? Well, she's Sayori. You know, you're right.
Time slowly passes. Monica sits, then stands up to pace around, then sits again. Yuri's eyes don't move from the book. Then the door finally opens. Sayori marches inside. Behind her, Natsuki shuffles inside, nervously looking around the room.
We're here!
Welcome back.
Monica, the club president, stands up and greets them with a smile. Sayori picks at her desk, takes a seat. Natsuki sits closely next to her. Silence. Looking back and forth between the club members, Monica is struck with a nostalgic feeling. She would stand at the front of the club room just like this, struggling to picture just who may eventually be sitting before her. But imagination was never good enough to predict just how unique and diverse each member would be. Each with their own struggles. Each with her own struggles, her own reasons for seeking the vision that Monica had admittedly so vaguely advertised. Seeking trust, understanding, respect. What new lessons will the future hold for the literature club? Realizing she's been getting ahead of herself, Monica takes a deep breath and returns to the present.
Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. We have an activity planned for today.
Monica turns around to face the chalkboard. On it, she writes manga in big letters.
Today we're going to learn from an expert about a unique form of literature, manga.
Oh, come on! Isn't this kind of forced? I know you don't actually want to do this, so just... Monica shakes her head.
Natsuki.
This is the hardest part. After making it this far, it would be so easy to just smile and move on. But that's not enough, not this time.
I'm sorry. It was wrong of me not to take you seriously when you were kind enough to show interest in my club. I thought about it and realized how biased I was against manga. It caused me to disrespect you and I'm sorry. But I think you deserve to be able to share your passion with us. So, can I make it up to you?
Well, thanks, but I know you're only doing this because Sayori told you to.
Wait, that's not true. Monica planned this all by herself. I didn't even get a chance to talk to her.
I was witness to that as well. This is the literature club. The literature club is a place where everyone gets to be themselves. We all have our own interests and our differences. It's my vision to let us freely express that. And it's my goal to respect every one of them. So, I just want to learn about the things that make you happy. And I think you deserve to share that joy as much as everyone else does. Is that okay?
Natsuki looks away and hesitates. But it's really dumb. The stuff I'm into. Monica smiles. She kneels in front of Natsuki's desk, looking at her straight in the eye.
If you like it, then it's not dumb.
Oh, except for me.
Sayori, you're not dumb either.
What the heck? You guys are so weird. Fine, I'll show you some of my manga. But only because you admitted that it's literature after all. Natsuki stands up. Oh yeah, I didn't say this before, but I'm actually into writing too. I'm kind of a pro. But I didn't want you to like me just for that.
Wow, really? I really did have you all wrong, Natsuki.
Yeah, whatever. Today's not about that anyway, right? It's about manga, so I hope you're ready. That's what I like to see. A week has passed since Natsuki returned to the literature club. Since then, the club activities have been in full swing. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight to share all of their favorite kinds of literature with each other. As another meeting draws close, Monica approaches Natsuki on the way out.
Natsuki, are you in a hurry home or anything?
Me? Not particularly. Why?
Well, it was just something that I wanted to show you, if you had a few minutes.
Sure, what is it?
It's not in here. Can you follow me to the music room?
The music room? Why?
Well, you'll see.
Music room, new background, let's go.
You know, I was thinking back. When the club was just me and Sayori, we would talk about how we envisioned the club to turn out. We cared a lot about it being a place where people could express themselves. And she said something strange to me. She said that I was trying to make the club that I needed myself more than anyone. But I think it wasn't until you joined that I fully understood that, because you really taught me a lot about myself, like things that I was probably always too stubborn to admit.
Oh, come on, you can't mean that. I didn't even do anything. I just, brought a bunch of manga, and I got fussy when I didn't have my way. It was really stupid of me to make such a big deal out of it.
No, I honestly needed it. If you didn't express that you were hurt, I would never have realized that I did something wrong. Besides, your feelings are valid. They deserve to be heard and respected.
It's just really hard to feel that way sometimes. You know, I really shouldn't care about what other people think in the first place. But when you're just criticized by everyone around you for being a certain way, it can get really hard to just brush it off. And it makes me start to feel like I'm the problem. Like, I'm not doing enough to please everyone. Am I being too entitled if I just want people to like me without me having to hide a bunch of stuff about myself? I don't think I am. I just wish that sometimes people would try to appreciate me for who I actually am. As Monica listens, she recalls vividly how how Natsuki's friends were treating her, and how naturally they did so. How long has she been fighting against that, refusing to change for others?
I could only wish I was as strong as you are, Natsuki. You are so honest with yourself. I'm always trying to come off as perfect for other people. Anytime there's a hint of contention, I just crumble. But it's thanks to you that I really started thinking about this stuff. You really inspired me to start working on it.
But like I said, I didn't even do anything.
You were just being yourself. That's all you needed to do. Also, there's something else.
Monica takes a breath.
The thing is, I might have read a little bit of your manga.
What the heck? Why didn't you tell me?
I'm sorry, I just felt kind of embarrassed to admit it after I gave you such a hard time about it.
I can't believe you, of all people, were reading manga behind my back. That's so funny.
Yeah, well, I just flipped through some of them out of curiosity, but I ended up reading a whole bunch of it. But I mean, one of the characters was in a literature club. What are the chances, right?
You are reading Parfait Girls? Wow, you have good taste.
Just one volume. And I kind of just picked it out randomly.
Well, you have good intuition then. You have to tell me all your favorite parts.
Well, I think it was it was some kind of weird fate, because the character isn't just in a literature club, she also plays piano. It's just weird because I've always wanted to learn piano. She was like the perfect person that I always wish I was if I just did what I wanted instead of always second-guessing myself.
Look at that. Monica walks over to the piano and sits down. New CG, let's go.
I always felt like I should only share the absolute best parts of myself, the parts that will impress people or make them like me more. But after you joined the club, I realized how self-destructive that mentality is. We share things because we want to express ourselves. Sharing experiences allows us to share emotion. And I just felt like I wanted to show you this, because if it wasn't for you, I never would have started playing.
Hey, I think the credit for that one goes to Parfait Girls, not me. Let's take a quick look at this. Shy smile from Monica. Natsuki just being the cutest as always. I'm so happy I'm getting to play this.
No. Well, maybe it's true that Parfait Girls put the thought into my head, but it was still you who inspired me to keep practicing every day.
Every day?
Because, you just make me feel like if I want to do something, I should just do it. I mean, I still haven't been practicing for very long, and I'm really not any good at it yet, like at all. But I wrote a song for the club, and I worked really, really hard on it. It doesn't have any words or anything, but, well, yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Why does it feel like this is the end? It's not. We're like halfway there. Oh my god, that's why they're doing it, because it's the halfway point. We've reached the halfway point. We've reached the halfway point, and now the club is finally complete. And that's why they're doing like this little... It's always... That's why they're doing this. Oh my god. Oh, more? Ah. And that's how the literature club came to be. Come on. That was just nice.
That's all.
That was so good.
It was?
It totally was. Yeah, are you kidding? You're like a real pro already.
I'm not even close.
Does this song have a name? You said it was about the club, so...
Yeah, it's called My Song, Your Note. Because everyone brings something so unique to the club. It's completely different from how I first imagined it, I think. But I was like such a selfish perfectionist. It shouldn't be about me, it should be about everyone. And it's all of you who helped shape the club into what it is. I would never change that.
Well, I think that's really thoughtful and kind of flattering. Kind of feel like I don't deserve this much validation. I wasn't exactly very patient either when I first joined the club. Makes me feel like I should probably apologize too. I think I was just really fed up with a lot of things and got frustrated after not getting my way in the club. So yeah, I really didn't mean to take it out on you. I was being really immature. If you get my stubborn butt to apologize, I guess you're doing something, right?
It's fine, I'm past it too, I think we're already even. But it's really sweet that you were thinking about it. It takes a lot of maturity to reflect on that kind of thing.
Well, I wonder who I got it from.
Hmm?
Oh, never mind. Well, anyway, we're even as long as you let me keep my manga in the club room. You did admit that it's a form of literature. You totally can't take that back now.
You got me. The closet's all yours.
I'll tell you what. I'll bring a little something for the club tomorrow. I'll do something nice in return.
What kind of little something?
Oh, you'll see. But I don't think you'll be disappointed. She's gonna bake. Time for cupcakes. Next club meeting ends up being a particularly tasty one. Okay, we'll do one more. One more side story today. Because now we are halfway done. So I'll do one more, then we have 5 remaining, and then we'll go through the emails, the pictures, and everything else. So next time, we'll do 5 side stories, and then we should have enough time to nicely wrap up everything else, hopefully. That's the plan. Naturally, that means we're gonna go slightly over the 3-hour mark, but you know I don't mind that.
Natsuki!
While Natsuki is messing with the orientation of her manga in the closet shelves, Sayori approaches from behind and pulls her into an embrace.
What? Hi!
Hi! The Literature Club has been in full swing since Natsuki joined. Including her, the club is now comprised of 4 members. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight to share all their favorite kinds of literature with each other. Natsuki was first and shared her passion for manga. Then Sayori shared her love for poetry, as well as how she goes about writing it herself. Monika, who has multiple literary interests, decided to focus her day on short stories. And finally, Yuri managed to demonstrate her obsession with fantasy with a little help and encouragement from Sayori. After the week was spent on their presentations, Monika decided to give the club members this next week to freely explore each other's literary interests. Sayori, having spent most of her time in the club so far with Yuri's fantasy books, is rather excited to begin her journey into Natsuki's manga collection.
I want to read with you today. Tell me which one I should pick.
Well, that depends on the kind of stuff you like. I mean, that's like romance, drama, comedy, mystery.
I like all those things.
Sayori reaches out and pulls a random book from the shelf and inspects the cover.
Shouldn't this girl be wearing more clothes?
You wouldn't like that one. There we go, there's the porn stash. In a panic, Natsuki snatches the book from Sayori's hand, then replaces it on the shelf in a less conspicuous location. Ah, I see she likes her eroge. Nice, she likes her eroge manga. Let's go, Natsuki. I know you're best girl for a reason. Okay, well, if you really have no preference, then let's just start with something that's easy to get into. A lot of these don't start to get really good until a few volumes in, and I wouldn't ask someone to make that kind of commitment unless they're already into manga.
I could handle it. I did it with Yuri's book at least.
Well, I'm more considerate than that. Although I'm kinda impressed by your attention span if you put that much effort into her books.
No, I have the attention span of a donut. But I love my friends, and I can do anything if it's for them.
Well, okay then. Let's pick you something that even donuts can read.
I didn't say I was a donut, I just said I had the attention span of one. Were you just trying to call me sweet? You're so cute.
No, how did you get to that conclusion? And don't call me that.
A donut?
Cute?
How come?
I just don't like it. I don't need a reason. Natsuki yanks a book from the shelf and closes the closet doors. If someone asks you to stop, then you just need to stop. People need to realize that.
I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to hurt you.
Nah, sorry. It wasn't you. Natsuki shakes her head while pulling a second chair over to the desk. I was talking about something else. Didn't mean to get angry all of a sudden. Natsuki averts her gaze and mumbles. You're like a nice person, so I wasn't talking about you.
I still learned a valuable lesson.
Sayori speaks softly as well, feeling shy after receiving the unexpected compliment. Well, anyway, here's the book, so just start it whenever you feel like it.
What's it about?
Well, it's like a comedy, and there's some romance too, obviously. Natsuki looks at the title. It's called Love is Another Word for Luck. Love is Another Word for Luck. Nice. It's about a girl who keeps accidentally running into the same guys, and then you find out well, you should just read it. But you have to tell me what you think. I can already guess you're gonna ship yourself with it. Be so funny if I'm right.
Ship? I don't get it.
Never mind. let's not worry about that yet. Just make sure you tell me what you think.
Oh, okay. I'll start then. Hey, maybe tomorrow we can do poetry too.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But don't you want to finish this first?
Yeah, but we could do both. I mean, unless you don't like poetry, then I won't make you or anything.
No, it's just, well, never mind. We can worry about it tomorrow. After the club meeting ends and Natsuki and Yuri leave, Monika strikes up a conversation with Sayori.
I see you got Natsuki to share some of her manga with you.
I really wanted to become better friends with her. She's so enthusiastic and expressive. I could just listen to her talk. She's so I'm not sure if she meant I can say that to her, or if I just can't say it at all.
Say what?
Nothing. I'm a woman of respect. But Natsuki's a woman of cute. I said it.
What's so bad about that?
I don't know. But you know, there's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Sometimes I'm afraid that Natsuki actually doesn't like me very much.
Oh, that's ridiculous. How come you feel that way?
Well, I mean, just little signs, like how she only says hi to me after I say hi to her first. And it feels like she only gets excited to talk to me when it's about manga and other stuff she likes. She just seems dismissive a lot. She was like that when I brought up poetry.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She's probably just shy, you know.
Maybe. My stupid head is just making me worry for no reason. It likes to do that.
It's okay, don't worry about it so much. Everything will be great. But you can always talk to me about any concerns that you have. I'm here to help.
You're the best!
So he gives Monika a quick hug.
Well, I'm gonna keep trying, because I love her and I want to get closer to her.
You got this.
Next day. Short day, but these days are kind of short. After the next club meeting starts, Sayori is the last one in as usual. Trotting into the room, she sees Natsuki sitting alone by the closet, reading what must be manga. Without hesitation, Sayori pulls up a chair and plops herself down right next to Natsuki.
Hello there.
General Kenobi. No. Hi. Come on, you can't reply. You have to reply with General Kenobi when someone says hello there. It's the law.
What you reading? Can I read it with you?
Natsuki pulls the book away from Sayori. You can't just start in the middle. There are spoilers. Besides, what about the one I gave you yesterday?
Sorry, I was just curious.
Well, anyway, I've been waiting forever for this volume to come out, and it just came out yesterday, so...
Ooh, that's exciting. Well, I'll let you read it then.
Mm-hmm.
Can I sit next to you, though?
Sure. Sayori plops herself down next to Natsuki, then pulls out a blank sheet of paper. Natsuki reads in silence, save for the periodic flutter of a page being released from beneath her thumb. From Natsuki's side, only the light tapping noise of her pen meeting the paper can be heard. Time passes. Sayori's paper is filled with scribbles, and the margins are lined with stick figures. Natsuki lets out a deep sigh and closes her book.
Did you finish?
No, but it's a good stopping point. My head is swimming, I need a break. Natsuki stretches her arms. Aren't you bored?
No, I was writing.
Oh, I saw all the stick figures and thought you were just bored.
I just draw those when I'm thinking or waiting for inspiration. I made friends with them all. This one is sad because she thinks the night sky is pretty, but she can't look up at the stars in public without everyone thinking she's a weirdo. And this one has problems with his back, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with him.
What the heck? You're a weirdo.
Wanna read the poem I'm working on?
Sure, I guess. Natsuki slides the paper over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads through the poem, she furrows her eyebrows. She slides the paper back over to Sayori. Don't you ever feel weird just sharing all of your thoughts and feelings like this? I mean, your poems are like really emotional.
Is that bad?
Well, no. It was just an observation.
I think people can get closer to each other if they find ways of expressing their feelings.
Well, Natsuki begins to protest, but she can't find a good way of putting her thoughts into words. Doesn't it depend more on the kinds of friends you have? I don't know. To each their own, but I've never met anyone I'd feel comfortable sharing my poems with. Not that it's you, it's just how I am, so...
You write poems? You never told me that. I just thought you wrote other stuff.
Yeah, that too, but
You should. I mean, would you ever want to share?
like I said, I don't do that.
But
Can we talk about something else?
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault, it just makes me uncomfortable. I can't help it.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Well, let's move on to something that makes us both happy. I should continue the book you gave me, since I didn't get very far yet.
Sure. Not like I care. Baka. Over the next few days, Sayori begins each club meeting by approaching Natsuki with unwavering enthusiasm.
It's Natsuki! Natsuki!
Oh god.
Hi, Natsuki!
It's never gonna stop. At the end of one club meeting, Monica, who has become rather invested in Sayori's friendship mission, starts an innocuous conversation with Natsuki while she packs up.
It's cool that you've been finding time to spend with Sayori. She was pretty excited for the chance to read manga with you.
Yeah?
I'm sure you've been enjoying the chance to share it too, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Hmm?
Natsuki glances over her shoulder but doesn't reply further.
What's on your mind?
Nothing. I don't talk about people behind their backs.
Oh,
Natsuki falls silent, but she just fidgets instead of getting back to what she was doing, as though she wants to say more.
it's okay to share your feelings. That's different from talking about someone behind their back.
I guess. I just hate when people talk about me behind my back, so I know I'm better than to do it to others. Monica shares a bright smile.
You're really considerate.
Thanks, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it.
You can trust me.
Natsuki stands in silence for a moment, still fidgeting. I just feel smothered sometimes. I'm not used to someone being like all over me right after we meet. I mean, it's fun to hang out with her, but I just have no control over the pace. I can't just meet someone and instantly become best friends with them and like share everything about myself. That's not how it works. I just want to chill out sometimes.
Oh, I didn't realize that was happening.
It's fine. Why would you have?
I know, I just feel bad about it. I know Sayori, so I should have realized.
Monica navigates through her tinge of guilt, which has surfaced mainly due to her being the one who previously encouraged Sayori's behavior. Despite not knowing the situation, Monica can't help but feel a little responsible.
Do you want to talk to her about it?
No, I wouldn't like that.
Well, I could, I don't know. I could divert her into another club activity for you or something.
No way. That would be so underhanded and mean.
Sorry, I didn't think that one through.
Besides, just because I complain about it doesn't mean I'm asking for someone to solve my problems for me.
True. I'm sorry. I guess I just instinctively want to try to solve problems even if I have been invited to.
It's fine. I would talk to Sayori about it, but it would make things really weird between us. I feel like it would make her just constantly be afraid that she's bothering me. I don't know how to just keep things natural.
Well, I think you do a great job of expressing your feelings. She would totally understand. Sayori really wants to be the best she can be for other people. I think she would actually be happy that you want to improve your friendship with her.
Maybe? It just feels so dumb talking to someone about how to be friends with them. It's just weird and not cool. Monica shrugs.
It's the literature club.
She then mumbles through a stifled laugh.
It's not the cool club.
Hey!
Sorry, that just tickled me for some reason. Look, I know you're kind of in a tough spot, and it's hard for you to really express yourself, but you've really demonstrated to me that you're great at self-reflection and critical thinking, even if it doesn't feel like it to you. I think that's the most important part of being able to navigate through these things. So I believe that you'll find the right thing to do.
Well, Natsuki instinctively starts to reject the compliment, but she can't find any excuse to do so. Thanks? Natsuki gathers her things. Then she finishes her thought in a mumble. And I'm still glad I joined the club, even if it's weird sometimes. Monica smiles, but Natsuki turns her back and walks away before waiting for a reply. It was an unusual way for Natsuki to express her appreciation, but Monica knew what she meant. made Monica feel like everything really was going to be okay. That's it. Okay, let me just double check. So that was balance part 1. So next time we'll finish balance part 2, and then do reflection and self-love afterwards, both parts. And after that is done, we'll go through the pictures we have earned, go through the mail. Not really necessary to go through music because, well, we listened to the music already. So, what I'm gonna do right now is naturally we're gonna look for someone to raid. You already know that much, right? So please, if you're still here, don't leave yet. At least stick around for the raid. At least try to stick around for the raid. I would really appreciate if you do that, just so we can share a little bit of the support. Let's see. Oh, look at that! Curious Life. Now, the thing is, I'd be glad to raid her, and I think we'll do that. But, huge but. I likely won't stay around, because she's playing Genshin Impact, and I don't want to spoil any of the new content for me, so sticking around would be very dangerous for me. But I will just quickly pop in and say hi, and if you guys don't mind spoilers, then please stick around on her channel for a bit longer. So I guess I'll see you over on her channel, if only for a moment. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye! And that is it. Again, just closing things off here. Goodbye to all of you. See you next time.